Welcome back. As all of you are aware, school's closed right now, at least for a month. But we had a little bit of footage that we had shot prior to school shutting down, so we'll share a couple of minutes of that with you. And until we're able to return, this will be it for now. So we hope you enjoy this episode and keep the subscription open so that when we are back, and we are filming and uploading, you'll be catching the latest episodes. Thanks for tuning in.
With piston clearance and spec, we're measuring ring end gap. I'm using the piston to put the ring in the cylinder square. A feeler gauge is used to check the gap. Because we added 3-inch lowering blocks to the rear, we had to extend the shock length.
So here's the pedal car pretty much completed. Unfortunately, as you know from last week, the Ohio show was canceled, so we weren't able to take it there. So we're not sure what we're doing with it yet, if we're going to wait till next year or auction it off ourselves or what we're going to do. But kids did a really great job on it. So we're sharing a little bit of footage with you of the K20 Cletrac that I bought, if you remember, out in Kansas over the Christmas break. Ran fine, but wouldn't move because the transmission wouldn't disengage. Took it apart and found out why. And we've got a little bit of footage of us putting the clutch disc face on the input shaft. So we added that to this week's episode as well.
Here we're removing the old clutch disc facing.
This is the input shaft of the transmission to the K20, and our clutch brake facing goes here. Now the clutch brake facing that someone had already put on there were these two pieces here, and there was actually three, and these are all the wrong pieces. You see how flexible these things are, and this piece here is what's supposed to be in there, and it's supposed to be only one. You can also see that this is countersunk specifically for these brass rivets, so we're going to get it mounted on that way. However, before we can do that, someone had already over drilled the holes for the input shaft, so we're going to have to re-drill 4 new holes to accept the rivets and to get all that put together, so then we can put the input shaft back in the crawler. So we marked it by putting the disc on and then spray painting the holes for the rivets, and that's going to give us a good center. We hope center punched it, and now we're going to drill. The reason we're using an angle drill instead of a regular drill is the head of the drill would actually hit this. Same thing with the drill press. So we didn't have the room to actually drill it. So we're using an angle drill to so we're able to drill these things nice and straight. So with the holes drilled and the clutch disc face on, we've got the rivets through. We don't have the actual riveting tool to compress these, so what we're doing is we're holding the rivet head on one side and using a ground off nail and a hammer to splay the rivet on the other side.